Desensitization levels are hitting an all-time high. I never thought that I'd live to see the day where I'm making a video talking about how meme propaganda is wrong and how our own White House is using clips of video games and sports and anything that they can get their hands on to try to promote a war. And I think that's insane. And I want to talk about it. In case you guys aren't familiar, the White House has been posting a lot of clips on Twitter where they're using snippets of something media related and tying it back into the war and missile strikes and how it's actually good for us to be in the Iranian war right now. And I don't think that's the case at all. And I think it's really wrong what they're trying to do. I'm your host, Seb, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, but let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit more. Now, desensitization getting this high is a little bit insane, and I really wish that I could go 2 weeks without talking about propaganda and politics in this channel, but unfortunately, we're not at that day and age yet, and I hope that one day we can, because if I ever don't do that, then it means that we're moving towards a better society or that I'm dead. And for everybody's sake, especially my sake, I really hope it's that first point. What first got me down this rabbit hole is that I saw the White House tweet out a video of somebody playing Call of Duty and calling in a missile strike, and then it tied in a bunch of bombs and missiles like exploding. And I can't tell like where those clips are from or where they're being used for, but we do know that it's probably related to this Iranian war thing, especially since that's the war that's going on right now. And then just a few hours ago, I literally saw somebody clip it at the same account, the White House account, clipped a baseball player, you know, swinging in and hitting home runs. And every single time he batted and it like hit it, it would clip to another like explosion, boom, missile, boom. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, what are you doing? And just on top of that too, I saw that Ben Stiller commented on one of the things because they used the clip from Tropic Thunder and tried to make it like a little funny bit about it. And Ben Stiller was like, we never ever allowed you to use this or condone this, and you need to take it down. And I'm just actually like baffled right now at like every single media poll that they're trying to use in order to promote this war and this agenda. What really sucks about this all is that this administration seems to have like no dignity or no morals about this, because this isn't the first time that they've used a lot of propaganda in order to try and promote their campaign. Because I believe during the presidential election and even a little bit after that, they were running some ads where they were using Taylor Swift's music or Sabrina Carpenter's music and many other artists' music, like against their consent, against their consent. And then on top of that too, they were using like fake AI images saying like, oh, these influencers, these creators support us, when in reality, they never ever stated that crap. And I just can't believe that we're now going to a day and age where we're doing this type of stuff related to war. And it's all to try and influence like young people's minds and anybody else who just sees this immediately and ties whatever they're using into the propaganda. And I think that's just really hurtful and harmful to like our society and the developing minds of kids, because we're not letting them come up with these decisions on their own. You know, somebody who's growing up who really liked the movie Tropic Thunder is going to now associate like all those actors, all those ideas into like, oh, this is why we have to go to war with Iran. And same thing with like people who play Call of Duty, you know, some of these kids don't know what's going on. They can't think for themselves. They don't know all of the ideas. And seeing the White House tweet out images of their game and relating it to real life events, like that's so fucked up. And just even if they're not getting to them in terms of like a ideological state, the fact that we're desensitizing them and showing them like, oh yeah, this video game is just like what's going on, you know, all you got to do is kill 5 people and now you got like a cruise missile. Like that's not how real life works, and that's not how we should be talking about these people's lives, because at the end of the day, these are real people that are like being hurt and killed, and making fun of it and tying it to a video game is just like, what are we doing? On top of all this propaganda that they're promoting and dumping too, we're also finding out that what the US is covering in terms of what's going on over there in Iran and in the Middle East is not completely true, because there are reports coming out now that other countries are saying that the total death count from American lives is higher than what we're reporting over there. And I think that makes sense too, because of course you want to keep the American people's morale high about the war. You don't want them to hear how many lives we're actually losing, because then you're going to lose support. And hiding these numbers from the American people, when I would say a majority of them don't care to be in this war and don't want to be in it, is wrong, because now they're just lying. They're just lying to the American citizens. And I don't understand a government that doesn't want to trust its people. And I mean, we've seen this before in the past. Like, this isn't anything new, but to this extent, on top of everything that we know about this administration, their characters, their personalities, like, I mean, no one can say that they didn't see this coming. But hearing that the total number of death counts is a lot higher than what they're reporting to us, like, last time I checked, it was just 6 people that were killed on across multiple military bases. But other countries are reporting that it's actually thousands of American soldiers that have been lost in these military bases. And it makes sense, because across what is it, like 6 or 8 bases that have been bombed, you're telling me that only 6 people died? Like, that would be an incredible number if that were actually true, but it just seems so unlikely. The real number is a lot higher than that, is what I'm believing, and I'm trusting that what these reports are saying are true. Something else that helps back up this theory too is because just recently, today, I think, is when Trump asked the president of Ukraine to actually help us shoot down some Iranian missiles that are heading towards bases, or that are heading to anywhere harmed with for like American allies. And I think them asking for that help tells us that whatever's going on over there isn't the complete story, what we're hearing over here. Because if we're really only losing 6 soldiers and we're not taking that much damage, then why do we need help from Ukraine to shoot all of this stuff down? And it just starts to beg a lot of questions, like, what is really the like main purpose over here? Why are we supporting Israel right now? Well, like, why do we feel the need to go to war with Iran when we have our own problems at home? And then what bigger tensions could this escalate to? Because what has happened in the past, whenever we have these entangling wars, is literally all led to the world wars, And I'm not saying that that's going to happen this time. I'm not trying to warmonger, but this is not a good step in the direction for our like global world society. And us asking Ukraine for help is even funnier, because this is the same administration that made fun of the Ukrainian president and was trying to de-escalate the Russian-Ukraine situation and try to paint it off as like, oh, we just had a misunderstanding and everything's going to be good. Like, it's like we were at McDonald's and the person just cut you in line, and everybody's going to get their food, but there's really no big deal. But in reality, like, there is a big deal, because we should not be invading other countries. I guess I don't know how many more times I have to say this, but us being involved in the Middle East is just, it's not our business. And I don't understand like why they're trying to promote this so much. Like, does somebody over there have the scoop that none of us do about like political leaders or something? Like, what is the real reason that we're over there? Great questions to ask. I guess I don't really know what's coming next or what to expect next, because with this administration, we're literally always kept on our toes. Like, I remember I was in class when I think it was announced that we were going to war with Iran, because I literally woke up and then saw that there were missiles fired, and then like boom, I was in class in Iran time. And I guess I don't know what's to come next. I don't know what their expected end goal is here, because they haven't really told us any of that. And they're trying to frame it all as like, oh, we need to help Israel, but for what? From what, And I don't want to keep harping on this, so I'm going to go ahead and, get to the end of this video. But I hope you guys are all like sitting and watching from home and asking some really thought-provoking questions about the situation and what it could mean for any of us here, because we all know that at the end of the day, the people in power are never going to feel the effects from this. I believe I said this in the last video that I made regarding the topic of Israel, where these people in charge are never going to know what it's like, because they're never going to get shipped. And chances are they're going to do whatever they can to protect their family members from getting shipped across seas. And they're also going to be protected because they're like powerful figures, and we can't have our loss of lives towards our powerful figures. And so the people that are really going to feel the effects from all of this is going to be us, the common people. And that means our prices are going to go up. We might end up getting shipped overseas, or people like family, friends, anybody that you know might end up getting sent over there if you're not chosen. It's just a bad situation. And I don't think there's overwhelming support for any of this. I don't even know there's like a third support for any of this. But I hope regardless of what happens, we can end this like as peacefully as possible. And I'm really praying for those people out there in the Middle East that are being killed and murdered for nothing. You know, some of these people did nothing wrong and they're just in the crossfire. And I hope that they're staying as safe as possible. And I hope that all people involved are staying as safe as possible. I guess it's time for me to go hop into a Call of Duty lobby now to see what it's like to bomb Iran. But thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.